Welcome to our channel, where we explore the cutting-edge world of technology. Today, we're diving into a revolutionary topic, using blockchain for e-commerce transactions. This tutorial will guide you step-by-step through the concepts and practical implementations. Let's start by understanding what blockchain is. A blockchain is essentially a decentralized and distributed digital ledger that records transactions across many computers. This ensures that any involved party cannot alter the record retroactively. Now, let's explore its relevance to e-commerce. One of the main advantages of using blockchain in e-commerce is increased security. Traditional transaction methods are susceptible to fraud and data breaches. In contrast, blockchain provides a secure way to verify transactions. Before we jump into the code, let's quickly discuss some key concepts: nodes, miners, and smart contracts. Nodes are computers that maintain the blockchain database. Miners are the nodes that validate transactions, and smart contracts are self-executing contracts with the terms directly written into code. Next, we will set up our development environment. We will be using Java with the Web3j library, which allows us to interact with an Ethereum-based blockchain. Let's get started by adding the necessary dependencies to our project. Once we've added our dependency, let's create a class for our e-commerce transaction. This will include methods for initializing the connection to the blockchain, sending a transaction, and verifying the transaction. In the constructor, we configure Web3j to connect to the Ethereum network via Infura. You need to sign up at infura.io to get your API key. Now, let's add a method to create and send a transaction. In our send transaction method, we utilize credentials to load the sender's wallet. The value in Ether is converted to Wei since Ethereum works in Wei. Finally, we send a transaction using Web3j's send transaction method. Let's discuss how to verify the transaction next. In the verify transaction method, we check if the transaction is confirmed on the blockchain using its hash. If it's present in the ledger, we confirm that the transaction was successful. This gives customers peace of mind. Now that we have the basic structure, let's implement a simple GUI to interact with our transaction. We'll use JavaFX for this. First, ensure you've added JavaFX dependencies to your project. Let's implement the user interface. The UI will allow users to input the transaction details, such as sender address, recipient address, and the amount to send. In the transaction app class, we create a simple JavaFX GUI with text fields for the sender, recipient, and amount, along with a button to send the transaction. Let's link our button to the send transaction method we created earlier. Now when we click the button, it will retrieve the values entered and call the send transaction method. We are almost ready to test our application. However, before we run our application, let's discuss some best practices. First, always ensure that private keys are securely stored and never hard-coded. Additionally, implement error handling in production systems to manage any failures during transactions. Now that we've covered security and error handling, let's run our application and demonstrate a transaction. Make sure you have some Ether in your wallet for testing. Remember, transactions on the testnet are free and are the best environment to start practicing. Once we run the application, we will fill out the form and send a transaction. Let's observe the network activity and check for the transaction hash. As you can see, the app is ready, and let's say we sent our transaction successfully. Now we can use the verify transaction method to confirm our transaction was completed. This is a simple implementation, but it effectively illustrates the transaction process on the blockchain. However, there are many potential features we could extend to this application: transaction history, user account management, and even integrating with other smart contracts for escrow services. That wraps up our tutorial on using blockchain for e-commerce transactions. Remember to subscribe to our channel for more exciting technology insights and tutorials, and feel free to drop your questions in the comments below.